I'm American State National. I'm appearing sui juris. You is not my attorney. That's not working for me. We got a whole issue. All my constitutional rights have been violated.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to stop this. I directed this defendant to be in this courthouse in person.
I got a bad back, sir.
And he is not here in person.
Sir, I
am not going to sit here and listen to him ramble on and on about everything.
Oh, really?
I don't mind hearing from people, but I tell you, if you're going to say it all, you're going to say it to my face. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. No bond.
I am here.
We'll get it.
You violated my constitutional rights. I am coming to see you, bro.
Hey, I hope you are not making a threat against me, because that's going to cause you a whole bunch of other problems.
You and your staff, Your Honor, Attorney Maxwell Dubin, P number 86012 on behalf of Mr. Galliard.
Ma'am or sir, where's your client?
My client is currently in Georgia. I'm ready to address everything on the record here today, Your Honor.
Well, is he here?
He's not here.
Right there.
Yeah, he's on Zoom, Your Honor.
Sir, state your name.
Devon Galliard.
All right. Why don't we address that? Because
but if I may, Your Honor, so evident from the information that defense has received and I've received, my client does and currently still does live in Texas, Your Honor. Again, he's never been in this situation before. That being said, he is monitored on a tether. I believe he, for lack of a better term, a misunderstanding where he was under the impression that since he's returning to Texas and is going to eventually move closer to Michigan, being Georgia, that he was able to go there while being monitored. Again, I would just point out this is not
but counsel, no. He never went to Texas. He said, I watched the video when I got this, and you guys he indicated he was going to Texas. There was nothing about Georgia, North Carolina, or any other thing. Nothing.
And I do understand that, Your Honor. My client's not sitting here trying to deceive you or the court, and he was very upfront and honest with the tether people when they asked, and he did talk to them with the tether company. He was not trying to hide anything. And I can completely understand the court's frustration with that, and I just would like to say that is not my client's intent. He does not have a history of skipping court, and the only reason I had him appear and as stated in court prior, if you do remember, but I know you deal with a lot of cases, so I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. He was even willing to buy plane tickets to fly back and forth through the onset of this case. So I would just like this court to know, Your Honor, that my client is not trying to avoid anything and avoid you or the court or this case in any way, shape, or form, Your Honor, or disobey you for that matter.
Ms. Zenda.
Your Honor, I have concerns given that, one, he was not permitted to appear on Zoom today. That was revoked given this report. I also have concerns given that the representations that were made was that he was going to be living in Texas. He never goes to Texas, starts residing somewhere else, and he doesn't come back for this hearing that he was supposed to be in person for today. He's facing very serious charges. I have concerns that he's just out and about across the country. I originally wasn't comfortable with him even going to Texas. Now I'm even more uncomfortable with the arrangement.
So, and I have a problem, counsel, when, as indicated in the community corrections report, he told them that he was permitted to travel to Texas to get his things and that he could stay in Georgia. That was never talked about. Not at all. And outside of the fact that even if it was, he's not just in Texas. He's in South Carolina, North Carolina. He's all over the southern eastern seaboard, with the exception of Florida. At least we don't have him there. And he's just going about his own, doing whatever he wants to do. And Ms. Senda's right. Once we get this, his permission to appear via Zoom was revoked. He needed to be here in person. He is not here.
Yes. If I can
One second.
speak for myself, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was just the reason why I didn't because I did my household goods virtually, and they was gonna send my stuff here, so I didn't. I wanted to save money and stay here in Georgia.
You don't have the permission of the court to be in Georgia.
That's my apologies. That's my apologies. I wasn't tracking that. I was trying to make it easier so I can be closer here to if I need to go to court. I could be here with my mother and I could just go from here to Michigan. Because I did, when you said that, as long as I'm on this tether, I can go anywhere I need to go. As long as I didn't
I
go
never
anywhere
said
near.
that.
No,
No,
you
no,
did say
and-
that. You did
No,
say
no,
that.
no, no, Mr. Galliard, I'm gonna, and Your Honor, if I may, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. I don't.
I've talked with my client. My client is taking full responsibility. I have talked to him about this today. He completely understands the frustration with the court, and that just because you're given permission to travel does not mean you can go wherever you want. He is understanding of that, Your Honor. I assure you that. And
But he's representing that I told him something I didn't say. He's representing that to our community corrections. I'm not having it. When I let people travel, I let people go where they want to go. The circumstances were given to this court. He said he lives in Texas. He wanted to go to Texas. I was going to allow him to reside in Texas. Come to find out, he never went to Texas. He's somewhere else, a few thousand miles from Texas, and just is there and trying to give me some excuse. I'm not having it. He needs to get himself back to the state of Michigan. If he doesn't want to get himself back to the state of Michigan, we will come and get him. A bench warrant's going to issue for the defendant's failure to appear. No bond. So you better get here before we get to you. I'm done.
And Your Honor, my client can turn himself in at any point. We can readdress this when he comes back.
We will be
he will
more
be back
than
very
happy
shortly.
to take him.
Okay,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor. I will speak with my client and arrange his return, Your Honor.
Court calls the case. People versus Haley Garcia.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Maxwell Dubin, P number 86012, on behalf of Ms. Garcia, who appears via Zoom.
Garcia, can you state your name, please? Oh, you're muted, ma'am.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. State
And
your
for the
name.
record, Your Honor,
Haley
Ms.
Garcia.
Garcia, and she is in Michigan, Your Honor, just for the record.
Well,
Yeah.
50% isn't bad, counsel. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, I was going to ask for, I am in receipt of discovery. I'm going to ask for a brief adjournment or whenever the court sees fit for plea negotiation reasons, Your Honor. And
All
my
right.
client is prepared to waive her 21-day rule if necessary here today.
That's fine. I'll grant the adjournment. Probable cause conference, will the 11th work for you, counsel?
The 11th will work for me, Your Honor.
Adjourn this to December 11th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Garcia.
you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good to see you. I appreciate
Good
you.
to see you, sir. All right, thank you. Court does call the case. People versus Dwight Miller.
For the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Rob J. Kilwald calling outside of Judge Slay's courtroom. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Dwight, would you state your name for the record?
I'm American State National. I'm appearing sui juris. You is not my attorney. That's not working for me. We got a whole issue. All my constitutional rights have been violated. I want it on the record. I was arrested by. I want it on the
Okay,
record.
first of all, I'm
On
going to
the record.
stop this. I directed this defendant to be in this courthouse in
I got a
person.
bad back, sir.
And he is
I
not
got-
here in person.
Sir, I got
I
a
am
bad
not going to
back.
sit here
I
and
got a
listen to
medical
him
issue.
ramble on and on about everything.
Oh, really?
I don't
So you
mind
gonna
hearing
violate
from
my
people, but I
constitutional
tell
right?
you, if you're
You
going to
gonna
say
violate
it
my
all, you're going
constitutional
to say it to my face. Bench
You gonna
warrant will
violate
issue
my
for defendant's
constitutional
failure
rights?
to appear. No bond.
I am here.
We'll get him
I can't-
here.
I got a
Thank
medical
you.
issue.
You
So
can
you gonna
mute
violate
him.
my
Thank you, Mr. Kilowald.
Okay, Judge. Thank you.
Judge, if I may say, he does have some medical issues. He said, all I wanted to do was set it for exam.
Well, when he gets here and graces our doorstep, I'll be more than happy to set it.
All right, I'll bring my constitution book. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Coward. Court does call the case, People versus Gary Coward.
Bro, you violated my constitutional rights. I am coming to see you, bro.
Hey, I hope you are not making a threat against me, because that's going to cause you a whole bunch of other problems. Get that number. Yeah, I bet you it did log out. Get that number. It will have the full number. We'll go find him. Get the detective bureau on that, please. All right, let's go. You don't know, do you? I know. He's just standing there like, man, I just call my name. I'm just up
Do you
here.
want me to contact the detective bureau for your job?
Pardon?
Do you want me to reach out to the DB?
I think he is.
Okay, got it.
Your name, sir?
Gary Coward.
And who's representing Mr. Coward? Mr. Burgess?
I am. Sorry, Your Honor. Good morning. Good afternoon. May it please the Honorable Court, David Burgess on behalf of Gary Coward. I'm appearing via Zoom, Judge, because it seems a little scary in your courtroom today. So.
Wow. I'm calm.
Mike, he's raising no constitutional issues, and he is a citizen of the United States.
Thank you.
I'm done, Your Honor. Sorry.
All right. No, you're not. You are just getting started. What are we
Good point.
doing on this case?
Judge, we're still trying to, Mr. Bannis and I were still trying to resolve the matter at the district court level. So I'm still discussing it with him. We're just asking for a couple weeks adjournment of the PCC.
Will the 11th work for you? I think you're here anyway on the 11th. I think
I think so.
For you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Will that work for you?
Yes, sir.
Can I
appear at Zoom, please?
Pardon?
Can he be at all?
That hasn't worked out for people today. No.
He's messing with you.
If you submit talk to your attorney, there's paperwork that needs to be submitted before that can be approved.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
December 11th, 2025, 9 a.m.
All right, thank you.
Bond will continue. Thank you, Mr. Coward. Appreciate your patience, sir.
In this courtroom sequence, Judge Simpson dealt with several defendants who tested the court's patience in very different ways, highlighting the importance of following court orders and respecting judicial authority. The first case involved a defendant who claimed he misunderstood his travel restrictions while on electronic monitoring. Although he had received permission to travel to Texas, he instead remained in Georgia and traveled through multiple states without the court's approval. His attorney argued that there was no intent to deceive and that the defendant had been honest with monitoring officials. But Judge Simpson rejected that explanation because the defendant had ignored the specific conditions of his release and then suggested the judge had authorized conduct that never occurred. Finding the defendant in violation of his release conditions and failing to appear in person as ordered, the judge revoked his privileges, issued a no-bond bench warrant, and ordered him to return to Michigan or be taken into custody. The hearing then shifted to a sovereign citizen defendant who refused to identify himself properly, claimed his constitutional rights had been violated, and insisted he could appear remotely despite a direct order to attend in person. Judge Simpson immediately stopped the speech, explaining that constitutional arguments do not excuse disobeying court orders or failing to appear. He issued another bench warrant and refused to entertain further arguments until the defendant appeared in court. When the same individual later appeared to threaten the judge, law enforcement was instructed to identify and investigate him, demonstrating that threats against judicial officers are treated as serious criminal matters. The video concluded on a lighter note when another defense attorney joked about the earlier sovereign citizen incident, and Judge Simpson responded with humor while still handling the case professionally. Overall, the hearings demonstrate that courts distinguish between legitimate legal arguments and conduct that obstructs proceedings, and that defendants who ignore release conditions, fail to appear, or disrupt the courtroom can face immediate legal consequences regardless of the claims they make.